Hi there, welcome to the video today. My name is Sovereign Jue, one of the founders of ICMI Consultancy. I would just like to share a few CV or resume tips that you would need to consider before you attend an interview. Of course, it's post-COVID season right now, and we possibly are looking for a role either nationally or internationally. As we are creating our CVs, it's important to keep in mind a few things. Number one, your CV does not match all job descriptions. That means that one CV does not fit all jobs. It's important to actually realize that every job description has key competencies or skills that the potential employer or recruiter is looking for. It's therefore important to match your CV to these skills. Secondly is the length of the CV. Generally, there is no cast in stone about how long your CV should be. It depends on the level of experience that you have, as well as the nature of the area that you work in. But at most, your recommended length of CV is about 2.5 to 3 pages. The most important thing about your CV is that it should be clear, it should be concise, that we say keep it simple and short. It should be well laid out, and it should be relevant to the role that you're applying for. Of course, as you're putting your CV together, it's important to keep in mind the type of roles that you are targeting. Ensure that you prioritize the experience which most closely matches the experience of the roles that you want to move in, not necessarily what you do most. Finally, all prospective employers generally don't like gaps on CVs. You therefore don't to leave this to the imagination of the recruiter, of the potential employer, to determine what you were doing during a specific period in time. The less questions your CV poses, the most likely you are to be called for an interview. So for example, if you took some time off to travel, it's important to just note in your CV, this year I was out traveling. You can mention the country if you feel like, but you don't necessarily need to go into the details of what you were doing at that particular point in time. Now that we've tackled the creation of the CV, the key thing to a successful interview is good preparation. You have your CV ready, and now you're looking to ace that interview. I will just tackle about 4 things that you would need to consider as you prepare for that interview. Number 1 is to think positively. You have come this far. Therefore, that means that your CV has convinced the potential employer to some certain extent that you could do the job. Hence, you're already off to a positive start. Instead of worrying about other candidates, and about, how you will make an impact, it's good to concentrate on preparing your answers to typical interview questions. For example, tell us about yourself. Walk us through your experience. For those who have, vast years of experience, these could be tricky questions. Even when you're just asked, tell us about yourself. Oh, there is so much that I personally can say about myself. So it's good to actually practice what you're going to answer to these questions. Number 2, we ask that you be prepared. This we mean know your CV in and out. Because as we said earlier, one CV does not fit all. So you possibly have applied to various roles. That means that you have utilized different models of CVs to those roles. It is important for you to know what CV that you actually, put in to a specific company, and also be able to know what key competencies you have within that CV. Also do a little bit of research to the company or about the company. It's important to just go onto the website. Things to look out for is like their latest news, also like how big is the organization, what are their core values. It's important to take these into consideration. It's also good for you to practice answers to questions out loud. As I mentioned earlier on the question about tell us about yourself, there's so much that you can actually tell about yourself. But of course, we are looking to keep it simple and short. So it's therefore important for you to have practice beforehand. You might have something, for example, in your head on how you would answer a specific question, but sometimes how we have something in our head, but it comes out slightly different when we speak it out. So it's important for us to take some time to practice what we would say. We would also need to anticipate the questions that would come from the interviewers. So it's important for you to go through the job specification and underline each competency and skill vis-a-vis how you meet this. So say, for example, the first line of the job description, if it's more a technical role, be able to give an example on how you would, or how your experience has, or the experience that you've gained in relation to this. Also know why you want to work for the company and what you have to offer. Some of us do make applications, random or ad hoc applications as we call them. It's important for you to actually go to the company website and see if that's a company that you would like to work for. Just a moment of silence there. Caught us. Sometimes, you'd be really looking for an opportunity just to work. You're not really specific about what you're looking for. But we have come to an age or an era where every little step counts to making our professional development, our career path, grow. We are looking not just to be stagnant, but to actually grow. So it's therefore important for you to actually ask yourself, what type of company would I love to work in? What would I love to see when I'm working in that company? What would I love to experience? What will give me job satisfaction? And those are the elements that you would look for, say, for example, in the core values of the company, the mission of the company, the vision. Those are the items that you would be looking for. Now, we are ready for the interview, and say you're called for interview on Tuesday and this is Monday or this is Sunday. It's important to know where you are going and who you will meet with, or who you are meeting with. After you've done your research of the name of the company and a little bit about them, it's important to know what are the names of the individuals that will be interviewing you. Now, LinkedIn comes in very handy. If you're given the names, just pop in on LinkedIn or pop in on Google and have a look at the interviewers and what their career has been or what their experience is. So say, for example, if you're applying for an auditing job and one of the interviewers is actually in the audit, no pressure, but you need to know what you'll be talking about. It's also important for you to have contact details handy just in case of any delays. And also give yourself plenty of time to get there. Ideally, you should arrive around 10 to 15 minutes early. So it's important to keep that in mind. Most of us might be African timers. So it's important to ensure that you're not derailing everybody trying to wait for you to arrive. It's important for you to be there early so that you take some time to just relax, take some time to just think about what you're going to answer, take some time, to just assess, is this the work environment that I would like to work in, just have a look, not literally have a look around, meaning walk around the company, no, but just have a look at the reception area, how friendly are people, how courteous are people, how kind are people, and that should also give you motivation on whether that would work for you as well. If possible, do a trial run as well, e.g. drive to the place before the day, or a day or two before. If you're using a bus, take one there to see how long it would actually take to get there. Also check on Google Maps about the same time that you are to be interviewed. How long would it actually take me to get to that location? Lastly, I would say dress appropriately for the role that you're applying for. Again, a pause. I know it's post-COVID. Most of us are used to the hybrid model where we work from home part-time and then some days we are in office or fully work from home. Please do not show up in your pajamas. Please do not. If you're not sure about what to wear, I would say formal wear would be the best way to go. I repeat, formal wear would be the best way to go. You can do some companies do offer, smart casual or a little bit lenient to smart casual. Say, for example, the legal firms would be more inclined to suits, very, very official. So if you are going to be interviewed in a legal firm, you definitely need to be looking spectacular. I do hope that you've enjoyed this video. We'll do a part 2 where we're going to talk about, tips that you would need to consider during and after the interview. Of course, as you've gone for an interview, it just doesn't end at the point where you say goodbye. There's a little bit more that you would need to consider. Possibly you haven't taken that in mind. I look forward to talking to you again and chatting to you again. Feel free to comment in the comment section below. Feel free to share your thoughts, your ideas. I would be glad to hear from you. Thank you. Bye-bye.